Left, got the blueprint, study my movement, more than the 2 cents. Was losing, now I'm oozing with success, and I got the tools to beat the stress.
Welcome to 3-Count Commentaries. Let us talk about Monday Night Raw from November 28th, 2022. A show that was okay, but not nearly as interesting as Kanye West walking out on Tim Pool. That was funny. That was great. That was great television right there. Even though it was YouTube, it was great television. Kanye going from 0 to 60 real quick. I enjoyed that. Watched it in real time during Raw too, so it was real fun. All right, let's get into the show. No real news and notes to talk about outside of one story that apparently has been floating around for several hours, that your boy Roman Reigns is not happy with Kevin Owens. What happened between the two of them? We don't know. Have no idea what happened between the two of them, but apparently Roman is not happy with Kevin Owens. And this is something that has been floating around on Twitter. So this is from Fightful. It says, despite winning WWE's first main roster War Games match, Roman Reigns wasn't too pleased upon returning backstage after the match. Fightful Select has learned that Roman Reigns was visibly upset after the Survivor Series main event, specifically about a spot within the match. It was rumored among those that we spoke with that Reigns took exception to what he perceived as an unplanned spot between he and Kevin Owens. He walked backstage. He mentioned possibly having a ruptured eardrum and wanted the spot to go as originally planned. The exclamation was said to have been, quote, expletive filled, and it was clear to everyone that Reigns wasn't happy. Those that we spoke with didn't believe there would be any extended heat in regards to the situation, and that it seemed more like a, quote, heat of the moment reaction, but that's only their perception of things. We haven't heard if a physical altercation that we learned of and talent that we heard back from said that they expected the two to be able to coexist for work purposes. Another put over both Reigns and Owens as passionate about what they do and figured if there were issues, they end up talking about it directly. Reigns did not appear at the post-show press conference as planned. So, the idea is that Roman Reigns was upset about a spot. We weren't told what the spot was because, you know, how dare you ask for details? Don't ask for details at all. I mean, what were you thinking trying to get to the bottom of this or trying to figure out what happened? Or, you know, especially when it's the biggest star in the business and, you know, he might be out for, even though there's substantial amount of time between now and the Royal Rumble, you know, very interesting that, you know, we were kind of light on details. And then at the end, it's kind of like, well, there's probably not going to be any extended heat between the two of them. There's no real problems between the two. And I just kind of say, like, okay, so what's the point of this? All right, if there's no heat between the two of them, the point of this is to do what? I don't know. But I did see, like, one sycophant who ran around was like, imagine being so angry about a spot with a guy who has twice the experience you do. And I was like, well, that's exactly the fucking guy I would be mad at if he fucks something up. You know, if you screw something up and you got so much more experience than I do, I mean, I would be mad at you too, brother. Sorry. You know, would I yell at you or pull you to the side and say, yo, look, yeah, maybe. But to me, this seemed like a nothing burger that somebody was trying to make something out of because, you know, AEW fans, boy, they were very upset about War Games. I don't know what it is about War Games, but really upset them. I don't know. I think it's the comparisons to the Blood and Guts. But I've only seen one really good, really good critique outside of my own is that, you know, 25 minutes of dead air before the match actually starts. But somebody said that WWE has top-notch production. You know, the Titantrons, the entrances, when they do pyro big. But then when they do set pieces, everything looks like a toy. You know, the chairs, the ladders, the cage, everything is too pristine. It look like action figures. And I think that's a really good critique, especially for a War Games match, because the cage was very clean and nobody bled. So it came across like it was a very safe match. But, that's WWE in general. All right, so the Bloodline is here. They're in your city, and they backstage in a good mood. Well, they were in the parking lot in a good mood. This ain't NXT, so nothing happened to them. They came out later. By they, I should mean the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn. So they talked about surviving war games and there being no cracks in the Bloodline. Said that KO was mad back there, but Sami is their dog now. Sami got the microphone, said that Jimmy is his day one, and he's proud of Jay, and Jay has been coming quite oozy. He's glad they're on the same page. They hugged again. Then both of them hugged Jimmy, and then they tried to coax Solo Sikoa to come and join the hug box. Come on over here and get you a hug, brother. Solo is playing Undertaker at this point. He's like, no, I want to be miserable over here by myself. Then Kevin Owens interrupts. He comes out there with the sad big brother face, and he understands Sami Zayn. That he stabbed Sami Zayn in the back multiple times. Doesn't really blame him for what he did, but says that their careers have been linked for 20 years, but that's done now. He doesn't want to wrestle Sami Zayn. He doesn't want to fight him. He doesn't want to be his friend. He wants nothing to do with Sami Zayn. Which kind of hurt Sami Zayn because in his voice you could hear when he responded that he never wants to be in the same room with Kevin Owens ever again. He doesn't need Kevin Owens anymore because he has family now. Then Kevin Owens said that he's glad to see Sami Zayn finally get the recognition that he deserves. But he should realize that he's not real blood, and he never will be. Jey Uso then got real upset and said, if you got a problem with Sami, you got a problem with him, now you got to get you. So they decided they were going to have a match. So let's talk about this segment real quick. For starters, you can see the real Young Bucks influence on the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens angle. It just came across like those, are we friends? Are we frenemies? What's going on here situations. And that's exactly what the Young Bucks are doing with Hangman Page. And considering these guys are buddies of the Young Bucks, I'm not surprised that their approach was this, But I'm not going to say it wasn't a bad segment. It was actually pretty good. You know somebody very well. You know them for a long time. And you know when they're acting out of character. And you're suspicious of their new friends. And you're not entirely sure that the new friends has their best interest at heart, but you want to be supportive because this is your friend after all. So I get it. I like this. I thought it was very good for the characters of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens because they have a longer run story. Even if you just counted their WWE stuff, they've been doing this since 2016. So 6 years of storytelling is going into this moment here where these guys fight and they become friends again. They fight, become friends. They fight, become friends. But this time seems like it's the deal breaker. This is the one time where Kevin Owens is like, screw it. I don't want to be any part of your life anymore. You do you, I'm going to do me, right? I like that. I thought that was a nice little chapter, especially since, I think a lot of people expect this to be these two versus the Usos at WrestleMania at least. So that means that they're going to have the fall of the Bloodline, but they're already preparing us for the reconciliation of Owens and Zayn. And for Owens and Zayn to face the Usos. So that seemed like a really good seed to be planted. It was fun. I liked this angle. It was pretty good. The main event match, Jey Uso threw 100 super kicks at Kevin Owens' face, and none of them fazed him. Kevin Owens won the match and immediately showed went off the air. These two have really good chemistry. I wish Jey Uso would vary up his wrestling holds a little bit. I think he relies a little too much on that super kick. Again, Young Bucks influence in WWE. Not a big fan of that. But other than that, Jey Uso is tremendous as a solo performer. And I maintain that at some point he needs to go solo. I think quite a few people have said that, that's the next step for the Usos. Once they're the longest reigning tag team champions of all time, there is nothing else for them to do. So I think that Jey needs to move on, probably win a mid-card title or something, and then have solo team with Jimmy. Not that there's anything wrong with Jimmy, but just that, it's freshening for both members. It's freshening for both of them to sort of switch the Usos out. Becky Lynch was in the ring, talking about, as to be a man of the people, you should be among the people. So she goes into the crowd to talk to rando strangers. One guy named was Bob. And Bob got super over with the crowd like they know who Bob was. Crazy thing about this, Bob is on TV fucking texting. So he's got his phone in his hand, just typical millennial, just ignoring the world around him. The guy, he's texting and checking his email and all kind of shit going on here. And Becky is trying to ask him questions, and really, I think he answered the questions with enthusiasm. But he dropped the ball with me when he saw Becky coming. He's gonna start texting and shit. Like, now is the time, you're about to be on national TV. Now is the time to remind the wife to get some milk when she leaves her boyfriend's house. Come on, Bob. She also talked to some guy named Zachary, but he was being a mark. So praise God, Bayley interfered. Auntie Pam came down there, talked about how she gets no respect. That all these things that she did for the last 4 months, Becky Lynch was sitting at home doing nothing. Because in the last 4 months, she had a last woman standing match, she had a ladder match, she had a War Games match. She went through the ringer the last 4 months, and all Becky Lynch had to do is show up, and everybody cares. Becky and Bayley have words before Damage Control attack Becky in the crowd. They fight all up in the concession stands before they get separated. Okay, so the feud is now Becky Lynch and Bayley. All right. That's fine. I don't hate that. I don't dislike that at all. Horsewomen working against each other should produce a pretty good match at the very least. Despite the fact that she was in a brouhaha earlier in the day, Dakota Kai has a match against Candice LeRae. And Candice LeRae is back. She said that she was just trying to figure out her place on Monday Night Raw when she was here the first time. But now she's here to reintroduce herself. And Candice LeRae has a very lengthy match. I don't know why it was so long. Jesus Christ, why was it so long? With Dakota Kai. Damage Control tried to interfere. They were shooed off by Adam Pearce. I'm pretty sure that there is some fan out there, some kid with leprosy. It's like, it's always somebody, There's always somebody who really is a one-legged Cambodian witch doctor. And if you say something on the internet that offends him, he may actually hear it. I mean, that kind of stuff actually occurs. But I cannot figure, for the life of me, find that there's enough dry-skinned virgins to actually care about a Candice LeRae Dakota Kai match. I can't imagine those people actually exist. My limited imagination will not permit me to accept that there are people who are fans of both of these talents and decided that they should wrestle each other on television. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that one at all, brother. Sorry. All right. First match officially on the show was Rhea Ripley versus Mia Yim. Who they're now calling Michin. Michin Mia Yim. So they decided to split the baby. They're not going to replace her name with Michin, but they will add it to her shrine and add it as a nickname. And that's it. So they're not actually going to change her name. And she also has her original theme, the HBIC theme. All right. So the match was going on for several minutes. I actually didn't mind it. I didn't hate this match as it was going on. But it ended in a brawl when Dominic Mysterio came into the ring for some odd reason. He got attacked by AJ Styles. So before either one of them even touched Rhea or Mia Yim, it was a disqualification. AJ Styles got on the microphone and challenged the Judgment Day to a 4-on-4 match. Now, this match was fun. The women beat up the women, the men fought the men, except Mia Yim got a body slam on Finn Balor. It was just a body slam, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it got a great reaction. It got a tremendous reaction. What also got a tremendous reaction was Dominic doing the Three Amigos with Rhea doing the shimmy outside the ring. That was great. So Judgment Day actually won the match with Rhea Ripley pinning Mia Yim via the Riptide. So Rhea Ripley being in this group is actually, turning things around. And I'm enjoying the hell out of that. So Judgment Day versus the OC. This is cool. I want to know where do we go from here? I feel like we haven't really solved anything when it comes to the OC and Judgment Day. There needs to be some kind of finality to it. And I would hope this would be the case. But apparently, no. Apparently not. So I'm guessing what the hell are they going to do next week? Because what the hell is there for them to do next week? Except having some kind of gimmick match where, somebody got to put somebody through a glass iron skillet or something like that. Okay, so moving on. Montez Ford is healed up, so that means the Street Profits are back. They were interrupted by Alpha Academy, and I was like, oh no. Chad Gable went from a guy who couldn't get on TV, couldn't buy TV time, to literally being on every goddamn show. Let's just skip through this. The Street Profits defeat Alpha Academy. Of course they do. Alpha Academy just literally has nothing going on in their world right now. They're just going from match to match, usually losing. All right, so Austin Theory, he cut a promo. He's wearing a denim jacket. So, he's serious. He's also in the dark, I believe. He's very, very serious. Said that people have tried to hold him down, tried to clown him. But he said he never wants to be called a kid again. He's the face of Monday Night Raw because he beat Rollins and Lashley in the same damn time. And said that he's younger, stronger, and inescapable. The Austin Theory era begins now. Which was very interesting. He's always had good promos. Again, we're sitting in a situation where we're kind of pretending that Triple H is doing something novel with Austin Theory when, he could have done this 6 months ago. This the thing. Like it was. I understand the narrative. He's not ready. He's not ready yet. I get it, but come on, man. Seth Rollins comes out there. He's wearing like lingerie. Like that shirt was like that shirt was see-through, dog, and it was like satin or something like that. Like, what's going on with this guy? But Theory got in Seth Rollins' face, said that he made the undisputed future of WWE look like the past. Rollins said that Monday nights belong to him. Congratulated Theory, including called him kid. Theory said, well, you want to fight? Well, I'll fight you, but I'll fight you on my terms. So Seth Rollins and Austin Theory are going to continue forward. So what do we do with Lashley? Is he just going to continue balling up Mustafa Ali every week and throwing him in the garbage? Because I'm down for that. If that's what we're going to do, that's a small price to pay for my entertainment, Ali. Hope you're listening. Hope you get dribbled in the hallway and somebody have to say, put it down. And they just dump you behind a desk or something like that. That's what I hope for Ali. Anyway, The Miz, he's walking down the hallway with a bag of money, just randomly with a sack of money, as if people actually do that these days. Nobody on earth walks around with a satchel full of money anymore. This ain't the 1800s. He tried to get out of this match with Dexter Lumis by claiming he's still injured. The doctors don't believe it. The supervisors don't believe it. Nobody believes it. So he's stuck. The Miz versus Dexter Lumis. This match was no disqualification. Anything goes. But pinfall submission, the only way to win. This match went entirely too long for me. At one point, a man's head was in a vice. Dexter Lumis' head was in a vice. And he was cranking it. And I was like, oh, so like that scene in Casino, where clearly somebody's eyeball is about to pop out of their head or something like that. But no, didn't occur. Can never have anything fun on this show. Miz does the J.O.B. Dexter Lumis gets his money. And he signs his Raw contract. Of course, it was weird that he had theme song despite the fact that he wasn't signed to the contract. Whatever. Anyway, Dexter Lumis gets this satchel of money because that's how we operate in 2022. We walk around with satchels of money. And he's giving away some of the money is in the bag. And he gets up the ramp before he's attacked from behind by The Miz. The Miz then takes the money and then snatches some of the money away from the child. Because it's his money, you know. He was willfully about to give it away, but, I mean, it's his money. So, then Johnny Gargano kicks The Miz in the face, collects the money, and then gives it to the kid. They're trying to get Johnny Gargano over. They're trying very, very hard. He'll have to keep trying, man, because Johnny Gargano, boy. I don't think the stench of being a fucking midget and a weirdo is going to ever wear off. I don't believe that for a moment. Not even the hottest of hot seconds will I be buying that. All right, so the last statement is that Bianca was backstage cutting a promo about War Games, how she's proud of her teammates and proud of the work they did, and, you know, then in typical Bianca Belair fashion, she kind of got a little overboard, a little egotistical. She starts talking about herself, saying that she held the division together. And you can look at Alexa Bliss's face when she said that. You could tell that the heel turn is about to come. And then Bianca Belair also took credit for calling Becky Lynch to get her to come in. So they're about to... This was an unnatural trio anyway. So they're about to probably have Alexa Bliss turn on Bianca Belair and turn her back on Asuka, which is okay. Alexa Bliss did an interview recently where she basically said she doesn't even worry about being a champion anymore. She would rather be the person who works with the champion rather than be the champion at this point, which is weird because she's talking like Bryan Danielson, even though she looks like a Barbie doll, you know? So I don't think she wants the responsibility. You know, some people just don't want that responsibility, and it makes sense, you know? So it's okay. So we see it coming. But we also see the moth symbol of Bray Wyatt haunting Alexa Bliss. No doubt it's probably going to be the catalyst for her heel turn. And she's in that position. Again, she's talking like she's goddamn Bryan Danielson, where she's like, or Kenny Omega, where she's kind of like, I'm in it for the creativity of it now. I want to feel how much we can push our bodies to the limit. Going splat upon the mat, getting up again, and doing it all over again. I wonder how we could do such incredible works of art with our bodies. Do you understand how we do artistic endeavors with our bodies? And it's like, oh, what the fuck? She's starting to talk like that now, and I don't understand why. And plus, I think that, if we're being honest, she's probably 1 foot out the door anyway. As as you know, she gets a little bit older and she's featured less and less. I think that, you know, Alexa Bliss is probably 1 foot out the door as it is right now. She married like a rich guy, right? Like he's like in a band or something, right? So she don't need the money. She's doing it pretty much for her own benefit now. And who knows? This shit might not benefit her for much longer. So Alexa is likely going to be the next challenger for not Rhea Ripley, goddammit, for Bianca Belair. She's small, so she's going to have to utilize her craftiness. It's going to take some creativity in this storyline to make it work. Because you're going to have to create a way for Alexa to be believable against an opponent who can catch her. And if she was to do anything in midair, Bianca could catch her. She got the reach advantage, the strength advantage, the speed advantage, and I think she's younger. Or maybe she might be a little bit older. So it's going to be a difficult sell, but I'm interested in seeing it. Because like I was interested in seeing how they would book Bianca versus Zelina Vega. And then we saw it. You know, she catches Zelina Vega, KOD, that's it. But in this situation, they need to challenge Bianca a little bit more. And they need to sort of reestablish Alexa Bliss as a force in the women's division. Speaking of forces in the women's division, Dana Brooke. So Dana Brooke had a birthday wish that she wanted to get an opportunity to just get in the ring and wrestle and prove that she belongs on the WWE roster. That's all she wanted for her birthday. Okay. Did you see Dana Brooke in the ring this week? Because I didn't. You mean Triple H is looking at her, probably had a slice of her cake like, you know, I'll think about it. You 15 minutes match with Bayley. I don't know about that. Maybe later, maybe some other time. I don't know. How about next year, next never? I don't know. But all right. Thank you guys for your time. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.